Well, thank you all for being here. If you know Jim Renacci, you know Jim, that I do always want to be prompt. So I want to go ahead and get started for everybody that's here. Again, thank you for being here today. Medina County and Ohio has a special place in my heart. 38 years ago, I moved to this great state of Ohio to live my American dream. I was able to raise a family, build a business, all because Ohio offered hope. That hope has been tarnished for many, especially in the last 3 years. Mike DeWine has crushed hope for so many people. Last week we learned that Ohio-based energy company FirstEnergy agreed to a $230 million prosecution settlement. This stemmed from an investigation into bribery and corruption charges against some of DeWine's closest allies. They were accused of pay-for-play scheme that funneled millions of dollars either directly or indirectly into Governor DeWine's campaign, and special outside interest groups helping him and even his daughter's political campaign. DeWine then signed House Bill 6, a $1 billion bailout for FirstEnergy that cost taxpayers their hard-earned money. DeWine has contributed to a culture of corruption where sweetheart deals and bribes are normal in Columbus. He and members of his administration have been at the center of this corrupt scandal, yet they have refused to come clean about their involvement. This is what we've learned so far. DeWine and his allies took almost $5 million directly or indirectly from FirstEnergy. DeWine then gave FirstEnergy a $1 billion bailout by signing House Bill 6, costing taxpayers their hard-earned money. The Attorney General filed a lawsuit to halt the sweetheart deal and called it a money laundering scheme. That was our own Attorney General. DeWine's own appointed PUC chairman's house was even raided by the FBI. Multiple indictments, the Speaker of the House and political figures arrested and charged. Weeks before a tell-all book was to be released, the author committed suicide. In that book, he addresses many of these scandals. This entire corruption scandal has made Ohio the most corrupt state in the country. I'm calling on State Auditor Keith Faber to conduct a full investigation into the monies DeWine received from this pay-for-play scandal. I am also calling for Governor DeWine to pay everything, every dime back that was funneled to him for his benefit in 2018 campaign that came directly or indirectly from FirstEnergy. The public has a right to know how far and how deep this corruption goes. Now, I will tell you, the FBI is going to continue their investigation. I'm asking for an investigation of the money that Governor DeWine received in his campaign and a full accounting, and I'm also asking that that's given back. Let's face it, the state party was one of DeWine's, here's a perfect example. The state party was one of DeWine's largest financial backers. If you look and see, the Ohio Republican Party was the largest donor. I'm calling that we look at even entities like the Ohio Republican Party as to how much money was funneled into the party from FirstEnergy that benefited Governor DeWine and his campaign. Since, again, they were the largest donor to the DeWine Youth campaign, for the public, a full audit of funds received and dispersed needs to be determined. The Republican Governors Association is one of DeWine's biggest financial backers, and FirstEnergy gave them money during the House Bill 6 era. What was the total funded to them? Again, this money was coming from FirstEnergy. Who else? What entities are involved, and how much was funneled to the DeWine Youth State campaign? Again, the FBI will be doing their investigation. I'm looking for a full investigation of the money, where it came from, and how much was funneled into the DeWine Youth State campaign. Let's face it, there is a culture of corruption within our politics, and we need to shine a spotlight on how politics have damaged our system. If we follow the money, we will find the corruption. Again, this begins and ends with DeWine paying back all of his tainted money he received directly or indirectly from FirstEnergy. And if he had any courage, he'd be truthful about everything. Since the money coming from FirstEnergy is an electric utility with Ohio customers, the money needs to go back to them in order to reduce the energy rates. DeWine has said he'll consider donating the money to charity. We don't know how much. That's what this investigation's for. But I'm telling you, what he should is give it all back to FirstEnergy so the public utility customers get the credit for the money that was spent in this way. The money needs to be returned where it came from. FirstEnergy can try to right their wrongs. DeWine should not get a pass. President Trump said he was going to drain the swamp in Washington. But now, here's what we're finding. The swamp has relocated to Columbus. And Mike DeWine and his cronies seem to be at the center of the swamp. We also need immediate government reforms. On my first day as governor, I will issue a series of executive orders that will call for complete transparency into our system. We need to ensure that corporations and lobbyists aren't breaking the rules in order to get favorable outcomes. I will also review all contracts, past and current contracts, so my administration can fully vet and guarantee all contract bids were done appropriately and reviewed thoroughly. Third, I will look back at all appointments. We need to properly evaluate potential conflicts of interest to ensure our government is not run by individuals who do not have the best interests of the people first. If you want to work in my administration, you will work for the people of Ohio. Folks, we have a real opportunity to clean up Columbus. But it starts right now, and it starts with finding out the truth about Governor DeWine's activities and his level of involvement in this corruption. It also means we know exactly how much money was funneled to him, through what organizations, and that he pays it all back. Thank you for being here. I'll take any questions you may have.
I have a question. Who was the director of the Republican National Committee in Ohio at the time that this supposedly happened, that they donated the money to DeWine?
Who was the, you're talking about, who was the chairman of the Ohio Republican Party?
Yeah.
That was Jane Timken.
Okay. And she's running for Senate.
And she's running for Senate, yes.
Yeah, no thanks.
Any other questions?
Do you at all worry that by doing news conferences like this, putting so much attention on the issue, it could, if you're not the nominee, it could cost the party the governorship? I mean, are you willing to cede this issue to Democrats?
Henry, this is about Ohio. This is about making things right. This isn't about parties. This is about Ohio. We have to do what's right. I don't care. Let's face it, the corruption goes through both parties, Republicans and Democrats. We've seen it in Cincinnati. We've seen it in Toledo. We've seen Democrats. We've seen Republicans. We need to stop this corruption. This is the starting point. Governor DeWine can be the person who starts to fix it, but he's going to have to come clean with all the dollars he took.
In earlier campaigns, you had some donations from FirstEnergy executives. You got some money from Alexander, the former CEO, and then some money from Steve Straw before you became CEO. Are you going to be accepting any money from FirstEnergy executives or employees?
Well, I think that answer's already been settled, because I think FirstEnergy now has a policy where they're going to have to disclose all of those donations. Look, FirstEnergy is still a very good company, and they've done very good things in the state of Ohio. I don't blame FirstEnergy as much as I blame the corrupt politicians who knocked on the door at FirstEnergy and ask for the money. Any other questions? Okay. If we have none, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.